Allah, the sad truth is I don't know if you will ever be able to forgive yourself for a sin you've committed in the past that eats at you, perhaps even to this day, no matter how long ago it's been. You're reminded at times of a person who you no longer are, but the burden of what you've done in the past is still being carried by you. Perhaps people have forgotten about it, perhaps people aren't aware of who you once used to be, but you are. And every now and then that thought creeps back up in your mind. And although you've asked for forgiveness time and time again, and you've changed the way you are, and you've genuinely come back to the path of Allah, every now and then though, this thing comes back at you, and it eats at you, because you are reminded of who you once used to be, and how far away that person is from who you are today. I'm reminded of the story of Musa alayhi salam when he accidentally killed the soldier. And in the verse he tells God, he says, Allahumma inni dhalamtu nafsi, O Allah, I have done wrong to myself, I have oppressed myself because of an action that he did, which was an evil action. And he says, faghfirli, faghafarna lah, Allah tells us in the verse. Musa asked for forgiveness and Allah responds immediately, faghafarna lah, and so we granted him that forgiveness. And there's conditions for tawbah, there's conditions for forgiveness from Allah, and we try to fulfill them. But at times though, it still is difficult to come to terms with yourself and to be able to forgive yourself for what you've done in the past. And we continue to try to ask Allah for forgiveness and to try to become better people. And I think the solution is to continue trying to improve who you are today, to be as far away as possible from the person who you once were in the past. And I think that's the path forward. And we use those guilty reminders, to keep us on the straight path, that perhaps one day we may find ourselves in a situation that would lead down to the path that we were once on. And this reminder, this terrible feeling that eats at you day in and day out, that kills you on the inside and it makes you feel terrible, that reminder, by God's will and grace, is what is needed for you to not fall back down that path and become the person you no longer want to be. So keep your head up, keep fighting, keep asking for forgiveness, and keep trying to be a better Muslim day in and day out. And use those reminders, as difficult as they are, to make sure that you do not fall back into the sin that you once fell in. Barakallahu feekum. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.